I'm sure this very moment a lot of you out there are simply thinking, you know what, I bet this is going to be that unlimited boss farm in the Summit Floor 10 legendary difficulty on how to get the Bighorn, and you know what? You're right, it is. Now, the reason I've chosen to put this video together really quick is because with the combination of the DLC as well as the new season beginning, we have a lot of new and returning players jumping back into the game, and you wonder if certain farming methods have changed. So if you already know how to farm for the Bighorn in the Summit, do not waste your time watching this video, but for everyone else, I want to walk you through a few details really quick. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the information, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, when it comes to farming for the Bighorn, you do have a few different options you can choose from. You can try to pick it up in the Dark Zone, but that means even if it drops, you then need to extract with it, and things can get sideways really quick, and I know a lot of players out there do not like farming in the DZ. Now, the second option is farming on legendary difficulty, and you can go to a stronghold, run in a group, or if you're able to do a stronghold on your own, that's great. But as a solo player, for me, this is without a doubt the best way to farm, and that's hitting up any 10th floor in the Summit on legendary difficulty. Now, the reason we're choosing any 10th floor is because that is where you're going to find a named boss, and as you get to the higher 10th floors, you can face multiple bosses, but for me, I like farming floor 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. Now, a few important details as we move on. First of all, let's say as you're watching this video, you're on floor 3 and you want to make your way to floor 10. You can drop the difficulty to normal, get yourself to floor 10, fast travel back to the lobby, then bump it up to legendary. Every 10th floor is going to have one of 4 different floor layouts. A lot of people out there wonder, what do you do if you hit something where they have a jammer pulse, things like that? You are not going to run into any of those on any of the 10th floors. That is why you're going to see me using a skill build on screen, and I will leave a link to the build I'm using in the video description. Now, with all that being said, at this point, I'm just going to cut to the gameplay footage you're seeing on screen. I was recording as I was making this farming video for you. That way I can walk you through everything in real time and explain exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and with that being said, let's cut right to the footage. All right, let's try that again. And hopefully in the introduction I mentioned, I'm sure I did, I mentioned the fact that there are only 4 layouts that you're going to run into on any 10th floor. I'm doing floor 20. And the reason for that is I just like facing one named boss and then getting out of there. But as you saw a moment ago, you know, what I'm doing is this. I am getting myself to the 10th floor, and if it's not the layout I want, I open up the menu and I fast travel back to the lobby, and I keep doing that. And the reason for it is because for me, they're just 2 that I really like the layouts, you know? And I know I just said that a second ago, but the other 2, one takes too long to get to the named boss, and the other one has, you know, multiple levels, and I'm just not about that. You know, I want to try to make this as streamlined as possible. Now, as I say that, it could take multiple attempts to get one of the 2 floors you want, and I recommend trying out all 4 because you may like the ones that I dislike. It's totally up to you. All right, what is this, the 3rd attempt? All right, what I'm going to do at this point is the following. I'm just going to turn off my microphone, and once I get back to the floor that I want to farm, or one of them, I will jump back in, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. That took what, about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. This is one of the floors I like. You just make this beeline, and this is the most important detail about this farm. And I want to make this very clear. You cannot clear the floor entirely. Your main goal is to take out the named boss, pick up the loot, go back to the lobby, because if you clear the floor entirely, you will be pushed to the next floor, and then you're going to have to get yourself to another 10th floor, and that sucks. And the reason this is so beneficial as well is, let's say if you always keep it at floor 10, 20, 30, whatever you want, every time you go to the summit, you're always going to be at one of those 10th floors. And for the record, you can do this on any difficulty that you want. So if you're a solo player and you want to do unlimited boss farms on heroic, you can use this method as well. Just again, do not clear the floor entirely, right? I want to make that very clear. All right, let's focus on this. Now here's what's going to happen. All right, you can see right there, that little indication, that's where the named boss is. That is my hyper focus because I want to take out the boss, pick up the loot, go back to the lobby, and rinse and repeat until I actually get the bighorn. Or whatever it is I'm looking for, you know what I mean? So this is all about solo play. If you have groups you can roll with, hit up legendary strongholds, the weapon can drop as well. And please do me a favor, let me know in the comment section if you have used this farming method before. How did it work for you? I get a lot of messages from people saying this is how they finally picked it up, and it makes me happy, fellow agents, because the goal is to try to help out in any way I can, and this is a very, very popular weapon. All right, so let's take out this nerd really quick. Where am I going? What am I doing? Back here, buddy. All right, let's go over here. And you'll see in a second, once he is taken out, pick up the loot, fast travel back, and then rinse and repeat as many times as it takes. Oh, no way. Okay, a lot of you are going to hate me for that. I got nothing. That is pure damn luck. Holy shit. Well, that did not take as long as I thought it was. I didn't know how long this video was going to be. I was just going to keep farming until it actually dropped, and that was on the first attempt once I got to a certain floor. Now, keep in mind, as I say that, you may have good luck, you may have bad. I recommend only do this farm for like 30, 40 minutes at a time. Otherwise, your eyes are going to bleed. You're going to lose your mind. Just continue to return to it, you know, when you need to. Anyway, make sure you mark it as a favorite. At this point, I'm going to leave you with a little more gameplay footage. Thank you once again for everything, and I will see you in the next one. So I did want to show you the other floor layout that I hit up. These are the two, the one you saw a second ago and this one. These are the only two I farm. I just like the layouts of these floors. One of the other reasons I'm putting this video together is, for those of you that may not know, at the end of last season we had something called Brooklyn activation caches, and you could also get the bighorn from one of those. Now, to be very clear, you cannot get that weapon from any cache at this point in the game right now, okay? That's something they do at the very end of the season, and the reason I want to bring that up is a lot of people are saying, well, can't I get it from caches? The answer is no, you cannot. So, anyway, that's all I got for this one, fellow agents. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll chat with you soon. Take care, everybody.